Listening to The Marc Cox Show. Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox.
One-on-one?
That's what I expect at this point. It'll be one-on-one.
Sean? Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sean. Does the president anticipate a difficult confirmation fight for his nominee, whoever that is?
No. I think that we've proven so far that the Democrats can try to obstruct, but at the end of the day, the will of the American people is going to overcome that. And if, again, what I mentioned at the outset of this is the advice and consent piece of this. He and our team have met with senators from both sides of the aisle to make sure that we understand the qualities that they are looking for in the next Associate Justice. And I think that we've done a very, very good job of getting a nominee in place that will be announced tonight that meets the criteria that they set forth. They may not like their political or philosophical background, but I think the criteria in terms of academia background, time on the bench, the expertise and criteria meets the intent of both Republicans and Democrats. John Gibbs.
That is Sean Spicer taking questions at this hour from the media about the Supreme Court pick, which is now 6 hours and 32 minutes away, roughly. I only know that because they're keeping a countdown clock on the TV screen. But I'm just saying. More on Hardiman here in just a minute because that's the guy I think is going to be the Supreme Court pick. And I'll tell you why I think Spicer's saying what he's saying, and I also tell you why I think he's wrong. First of all, why don't we get to our guest?
Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother, man?
Shaft! I'm glad you always hit that note. That's good. Chris Arps, how are you?
I'm good. I was so into it that I hit the mic with my hat. That's when you're into it.
That's right. That's right. Got to be careful. So, Sean Spicer talking about the SCOTUS pick tonight. That may be the biggest news of the day, other than these Democrats who, according to Orrin Hatch, hold on, are we potted up over here? I'm sorry.
Well, they are idiots.
Today, Orrin Hatch called them all idiots for boycotting. Other than that story and this travel ban, this SCOTUS pick tonight's going to be huge. It's huge.
Which one do you think they're leaning towards? The guy that's 49 or the one that's 51? That's how I know them by
Hardiman,
their age.
I think, is 51.
Okay.
I think he's the older of the two. And why I think they're leaning toward him, based on what Spicer just said, is because he got unanimous support the last time he got a vote, and Schumer and several of the other big-name Democrats who've spoken out so far voted to support them being put on the federal bench. So now they're going to come back and say, well, you know, if you supported him then, I mean, did you have to pass the bill to see what was in it? I mean, he's been on the bench for a while. I think they're going to stop this Supreme Court nominee no matter what. Some of them have already announced that they're planning to do whatever it takes to filibuster whatever to stop, no matter who it is. If they put up Santa Claus, they try to stop them.
They have to do this to keep their activist base going because they run nothing. So they're going to be obstruct Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee just to say, hey, look, we're still out here. We're still doing something.
You have a preference on the so AP reported earlier that Thomas Hardiman and Neil Gorsuch had both left their houses to fly to D.C. just as cover. I don't know, because it's like a shell game. You don't know which one it's going to be, I guess. I didn't hear about the Sykes lady or William Pryor from Alabama. I don't know if they're en route as well.
Well, to be honest with you, I heard the names this morning that it came down to two people, and I really haven't researched them a whole lot to really know their judicial temperament.
Here's what I've read on it, that Hardiman is the more conservative of the two, probably. He's probably better on issues like pro-life, maybe, than Gorsuch, because he might be a little more middle of the road in that area. They're both strong on the Second Amendment. What I read is that this Sykes, who's out of Chicago, this lady, might be holding her in reserve for pick number 2 in case the first one either doesn't work or he gets a second seat on the Supreme Court because Ruth Bader Ginsburg or someone else leaves for whatever reason, because they think she would be a more moderate Republican to replace a Democrat if one of those Democrats happens to leave.
I think she's going to end up being the runner-up in case Ruth Bader Ginsburg decides to retire, that she's the one that's going to be next up for the pick, and they're just trying to get her out, her name just already out there.
Right.
You know what? I heard a very funny name for a Trump supporter on Facebook today.
A funny name for a Trump supporter.
It's derogatory in a sense. I can say it on the air, but it's creative. And my friend was called this morning. She was called a Trump pansy.
Trump pansy.
You got to give him A for creativity.
Is it a dig at African Americans who support Trump?
Well, surprisingly, she was African American, but the person that called her a Trump pansy was African American. So
interesting.
But I thought that I just had to get that in there. I thought that was very creative. Trump pansy. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. This, the Trumpkins, all the name calling that's been going on. I listened to a guy earlier named Scott Jennings. Apparently, he helped run. He's from Ohio. He helped run Mitt Romney's campaign. He's been an advisor to a bunch of people. I thought he made some good points this morning on who these people are, who are like the professional protesters, and they're just waiting for the next excuse to go out and hold up a sign or chant against Trump. It didn't really matter what the issue is. Yeah. They're like plug and play.
I said that 2 weeks ago, that these protests, ever since the Michael Brown incident, have basically just turned into street parties.
Right.
And the activism comes in second. But it's a chance, a place for everybody to get together, air their grievances, and have a big street party.
And
that's what they seem like
feel
now.
better the next day. Yeah, listen.
They're out there protesting every day. It must be exhausting to wake up every day with the outrage of the day on your mind and on your agenda. We need cooperation in Washington, D.C., because that's what the people voted for in this last election by giving Republicans so much control of government, not just in Washington, but at state capitals as well. We see it up and down the levels of government in this country. There is a desire for cooperation, unity, and moving forward.
Yeah, you think?
And I honestly feel sorry a bit for these anti-Trump people, because
really,
I do, because their whole psyche, mindset, everything seems to be circled around Donald Trump and his presidency and what he's doing and what he's tweeting. Look, I wasn't a Barack Obama supporter, no way. But I didn't let and I knew that his presidency was going to do damage to the country, and hoped in 48 years we'd get a Republican president. But I never let it get to the point where it affected my psyche or it affected my success or my happiness. That's the thing there that I just can't comprehend that.
Yeah. I was very happy last night when Donald Trump fired this Yates woman. I waited for it. I speculated on Twitter that he should do it. Yeah. In fact, I tweeted him because I know he reads my tweets, and I said, Mr. President, you should so say you're fired. Yeah. And it was just like an hour later that he fired her via Twitter. I think that's how that happened.
And when you defy a presidential executive order, you can probably start cleaning out your desk. I would think.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out to me earlier. Maybe it was Jeff Allen who said that she could have resigned, but she wanted to be fired because she knew what was going to happen when she did that, right?
Oh, this was calculated. Definitely.
Sure, it was. It was all calculated. She knew what was coming down the pike, and I'm I don't know.
That's right. We'll fire Hillary. Hillary, you're fired.
And you're fired. And what you were talking about earlier with the now he's supporting these LGBTQAX thing.
Yeah.
Trump. The more and more he becomes president, the more and more he's growing on me, because he is the epitome of what my favorite books and what I touted here on your show, 48 Laws of Power. He follows every one of them laws almost daily. And this whole thing with the LGBTQ thing is just being unpredictable, because what you can't predict, you fear. And you don't know how to measure yourself against it to stop it. He's just being unpredictable. He's like, on one day I'm going to do this immigration order, and then next day, guess what? I'm for the transgender gay community. It's just keeping them all confused.
I'm looking forward to the top of the hour here. Just after 1, we're going to interview Brad Bowman, who's a Democratic strategist. Yeah. Used to head up some progressive committee. You see him on Fox sometimes trying to represent the other side, and I'm just waiting for him to start spewing out those Democratic talking points about this being unconstitutional and this isn't fair and this is discriminatory. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I noticed when I was driving down that he got my promo.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, you didn't say Chris Arps will be joining
I
the
think
studio.
I did.
No, you
I think I did.
No,
did it get cut out? I know I said it.
Oh, I got cut out.
I'll bet Frank edited you out.
That was my fault.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I said, let's shorten this a little bit because it wouldn't fit. It's all production
Somebody's
stuff.
getting a little too big for his shorts over here, isn't he?
I thought you were talking about me for a second there. And I was like, my bad. I won't do that anymore.
I was just slightly hurt. I was like, wow. And it's a Democrat at that he puts on there.
You were in the promo.
Okay.
Hey, Chris.
You're for
Bork you.
You know what I'm saying? All right, got to get to a break. 314-969-9797. We'll give away a Mark Cox Show gift pack while Mr. Arps is in the studio. That'll make him feel a little better.
Pouting.
Yeah, absolutely. That and much more in your phone calls right after this.
This is the Mark Cox Show. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Another quiet day of weather as we end the month of January. Looking for a high of 54 degrees this afternoon. That will feel good once again, much like yesterday. Tonight, lots of clouds move in. There's a cold front dropping down. It's a dry front. 32 for the low. Wednesday, partly sunny and colder, 44. High temperatures Thursday and Friday in the mid-30s, more like winter. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
All right, 2017, it is time for you to get your house in order and get a little training under your belt from the professionals at The Range. That is The Range, St. Louis West, out in the 14803 block of Manchester Road in Baldwin. Easy to get to, right next to Velasquez Park. Great range. Bought my concealed carry weapon from them last year, and now I'm starting to get some advanced training on how to use it. You may have gone to the range your whole life, but I will guarantee you, if you go through the training that I did with instructor Jason out there 2 weeks ago, it is eye-opening. You just don't know how much you don't know sometimes. This was sort of an advanced concealed carry class. There's going to be another class that's even more advanced that I'm going to take next. But they've also got simple things. They've got Are You Ready? Home and personal preparedness training. They've got shotgun shooting basics, competition shooting basics, CCW classes. It's all available for you. You can sign up for it and look at the full list of classes on their website, therangestl.com.
At the Home Loan Expert Office, lower rates on better loans are expected. The real beauty is the way we treat our clients. And that's why so many people come back to us time and time again and refer all their friends and families for their mortgage needs. We built this company by listening to our customers. We meet with all of our clients face to face and we give them the loan that's right for them. Call me directly and I will get you pre-approved for your new home loan.